Hello students, welcome to Study Live. So I hope you people are revising, studying for your board exam, right? So for to help you all, we have come out with a quick revision session. So now in this session today we are going to learn about kinetic theory of gases. Students, here two topics are there. One is kinetic theory and radiation. That means two concepts we have to study here, right? So KTG, that is kinetic theory of gases, what all formula you have to learn and what is the important part, because here numericals will be asked based on this. So we are going to discuss with this. So you all be ready with your notebook, pen and note down the points and make your own notes. That will really help you out. Right students? So let us start with, so KTG, that is kinetic theory of gases. Students, the basic part what you have to remember is about Boyle's law, Charles law, Gay-Lussac's law, right? You have learned many times about this, but what is a shortcut to remember? I'll just tell you. For Boyle's law, we can remember BT. What do you mean by BT? B means Boyle's law, T means at constant temperature. If you can remember, because normally students forget about this, okay, what is constant and what is the formula. So Boyle's law at constant temperature, what is remaining is pressure and volume. They are inversely proportional. So you can remember like this. For Charles law, students, you can remember Cp. At least remember this shortcut. Okay, so you will never make any mistakes with the formula, right? Okay, so these three laws you have to learn, and for a Gay-Lussac's law, students, of course it is Gv, that is at constant volume. What is balance is pressure and temperature, they are directly proportional. So these three laws you have to remember, right? Questions will be there definitely for 1 mark question, and then combining everything. Okay, for ideal gas equation, we have PV proportional to T, that is P1 V1 upon T1 is equal to P2 V2 upon T2, right? So remember this very important formula. Okay, students. And one more very important one which I would like to tell you is N is equal to N upon Na. That is number of the moles, okay, number of molecules upon Avogadro number. Same formula you have M upon M0 also. So these two formulae you have to remember, right? So capital M is what? Mass of gas and molar mass. Remember this particular part. So because everywhere we are going to use this formula, right students? Then after that, Avogadro number, this is the formula very important, that is gas constant is Na, that is Avogadro number, and Kb. Kb is nothing but what? Boltzmann constant. Okay, so remember this particular formula. Then after this, so this is the only formula list we have to remember. Behavior of gas is deleted for this particular year, but there is nothing much to remember. And then comes the ideal gas and real gas. This is also omit part for this particular year, but you should know the meaning of it. Real gas, the gas which exists, all the gases which exist is the real gas, and ideal gas, that is noble gas and a heavier gas, at particular parameters they behave as ideal gas. Okay, so differences might be asked. Okay, so differences you should learn here, right? But anyway, this part is omitted, but I'll just tell you this is what is the important here. Ideal gas intermolecular interactions are absent. For real gas, intermolecular attractions are there. Okay, so like this you have to at particular, this is a very important sentence students. Sometimes for MCQs it will be definitely asked, right? At low pressure and or high temperature, the molecules there is interaction is negligible, and at this situation it behaves as ideal gas. Okay, then after this, the next part students is about mean free path. This also part has been deleted for this particular year, but of course mean free path is the important concept, very easy to remember. As you can see here in a container, you can see the number of gas molecules students, right? Correct. And now this shows the number of collisions. Suppose this is the first collision, this is the second collision, this is the third collision. So the distance between first and second collision, we call it as free path. Okay, so the average of all the free path, we name it as what? Mean free path. That is the concept. Remember this particular part. And for mean free path, that is lambda, which is denoted by lambda, the formula is 1 by root 2 pi d square bracket n by v. N by v you have to study from here. N is the number of molecules and v is the volume, right? So anyway, this part is deleted for this particular year, so you can just read it, not much to concentrate, of course. But very important part is pressure of ideal gas. ये तो डेफिनेटली आने वाला है क्वेश्चन, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. डोंट फॉरगेट टू by heart this or learn this derivation. It is again easy to remember. I'll show you how to remember this particular part. So we have to derive pressure of ideal gas. Okay, now for this particular, you can see this is an important diagram which you have to draw. As you can see, there is a cubical container and there is gas molecules in the container. So one of the molecule of mass m is considered, which is moving with the velocity, right? Now, since it is a cubical structure, cubical container, of course, it has what? 3 axes. So that means the molecules will travel, randomly move in all the 3 axes, right? So we have to study about that. That means velocity along x-axis, velocity along y-axis, and velocity along z-axis. This is a basic concept which you have understood. But see, such a big derivation is there. Okay, as you can see, very big derivation is there here. But how to remember? How to remember, students? You can just remember in a very easy manner. That is, pressure basically is what? Force upon area. Okay, that means our aim is to find out force and area. How will you find out force? According to Newton's second law, force is nothing but what? Change in momentum. Change in momentum, right? Upon time. Right, that is the rate of change of momentum. This is the force definition which you have learned according to what? Newton's second law. That means to find out force, you need to find out what? Change in momentum. But basically, what is change in momentum, students? Change in momentum is nothing but what? Final momentum minus initial momentum, right? So, how to get initial momentum? What is basically momentum? Mass into velocity. You can just remember like this order. Mass into velocity. So, mass is m. And velocity along one axis we are going to talk about, that is Vx. So students, what we have written here, that is mvx is the initial momentum. Now that momentum, it will hit the surface of the cube, then it will bounce back, it will return back. When it is bouncing back, that will be termed as what? Final momentum. So the final momentum is minus mvx. Why it is minus? Because it is bounced back. So the total, it is what? Minus 2 mvx, that is the change in momentum. So we got this particular part, students. Okay, and in terms of magnitude, if you talk about, that will be what? Plus 2 mvx. So I'm going to substitute there. That means in short, you can remember like this: 2 mvx. This is along x-axis only we are talking about. And of course, change in time we have to find out. Right, students? Now, change in time, how to get? See, here it is. This particular part, change in time. Now you will see how we get this number. See, the time basically is nothing but, you can remember like this: distance upon speed. Okay, this is the basic definition. But what is the distance, students, here? So the molecule, that is the particle, will go L length, will return L length. That means total distance covered is 2L. So this is what is 2L given. With what speed it will cover? That is Vx. Okay, so we are getting delta T also we got. So that means two things we have got here. That is change in momentum we got and delta T. So of course we are calculating what? Force. Okay, so force के लिए substitute कर देंगे formula. So the average force, we have got this value. After substituting, you will get this. Why this x1 is written? Why? Because it is for the first molecule, one molecule. You are getting like this. There are n number of molecules which is traveling along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, right? So this is what we got, average force, right? Isn't it easy to remember? So our aim is completed, force we have completed. What is the next part? Area. That means pressure we can get from here. So this is what is given here. So the average force is given here like this. Average force meaning all the 3 axes it is considered. That is x-axis. Similarly, we can have y, z, like that. Okay. So first particle, second particle, third particle and so on. So the average pressure is what? Force upon area. So we are getting here, force part is substituted and you are getting upon area as L square, right? So what you are getting here, students, after this? Then what is this part? This is the average speed, is nothing but what? Adding all, dividing by n, right? So we are getting pressure is equal to mass of each molecule, that is small m, and number of molecules, Vx square upon V. Now velocity, average velocity meaning in all the axis possible direction. So we are getting finally answer because all the axis meaning 3 axis. So it is 1 by 3 V square for one direction. So we are getting this particular average pressure as 1 by 3 N by V mv square. Right? So this is the way you can remember and very easy, and 3 marks definitely you are going to score complete one. Right? Only diagram and these explanations you have to write. So this is the formula, students, that is the pressure exerted by gas is 1 by 3 N by V mv square. Okay. Then after this comes the next part. This is the same thing, we can also write it as P is equal to, pressure is equal to 1 by 3 rho V square. Rho meaning density, and density you know it is what, mass upon volume, right? And here mass meaning what is given here, total mass will be what, mass of each molecule and number of molecules, right? Will give you nothing but what, mass. Is that clear? So this is how it is substituted here. So we can remember this particular formula also. This is a very important famous formula. Okay. Then after this, let us talk about root mean square speed, RMS speed. So this V square is nothing but what, RMS speed, that is root mean square speed. Okay. So how to get that particular part? So for root mean square speed, what do we have? This particular formula from where we got, because we have studied that pressure is 1 by 3 mn upon V, that is the volume, into V square, which is the RMS velocity. So from here only we got this particular, and this V is the volume. So remember, you might get confused with that. That is why RMS is written as V bar here, that is root mean square velocity. So what do we get after moving on the other side? We are getting what, V square is equal to 3 PV upon Nm. And then students, we know that PV is equal to nRT, that is ideal gas equation. So we can substitute here. So you are getting this particular part, right? And then we have already learned that N is nothing but what? Number of moles is N upon Na. That is part is substituted here. The same thing already I told you in the first page only. You have to remember those formulae. That is, this is nothing but what? Mass upon molar mass, right? That is what is substituted here. So we are getting here RMS speed as root of 3 RT upon M0, that is molar mass. Okay. So after substituting everything, and molar mass formula, students, you can just write here NaM, right? And this particular formula, if you remember, you have studied in 11th standard, that is the speed of sound. Okay. Speed of sound in a gas is root of gamma RT upon M0 according to Laplace correction formula, where gamma is nothing but what? Cp upon Cv. So just remember this particular, sometimes the questions can be based on that. Okay. After this, the next part is we have to talk about the kinetic energy and temperature relation. So to understand that particular part, we have the pressure formula. Of course, pressure is 1 by 3 mn upon V bar square, right? So from here you will get PV is equal to Nm 1 by 3 Nm V square, right? This is what you are getting here. And then the same thing, if you multiply and divide by 2, and make it separate, half mv square is nothing but what? Average kinetic energy. That is what is made over here. So you are getting this particular part as energy is equal to, that is the average total energy is equal to N into half mv square. Okay. PV is equal to 2 by 3 E. That is what you can get it from here, right? So the PV is equal to, again you can substitute here NKB, that is KB is the Boltzmann constant into T. So you are getting energy formula as 3 by 2 NKBT. Remember this particular part. Then the energy per unit molecule. Okay, so the kinetic energy per unit molecule is 3 by 2 kBT. Remember this particular very important formula, right students? Okay, so this is what is the relation, right? So what do we get the relation? Kinetic energy is directly proportional to temperature, right? Then after this comes the law of equipartition energy. This part also has been deleted this particular year, but it is again, without this we cannot understand the next concept. So law of equipartition energy is nothing but what? Kinetic energy is distributed. Okay, kinetic energy of a single molecule is distributed in different directions. So it is given as half mvx square, that is along x-axis, plus half mv square, that is along y-axis, and half mvz square, that is along z-axis. And just now we have learned that the kinetic energy formula is 3 by 2 kBT. That means each energy along one axis will be this particular part, that is half kBT. So half kBT is the energy per unit molecule along one axis. So the total you are getting here 3 by 2 kBT, right? That means energy is nothing but what, half kBT for one particular direction. Then using that, this again is the degrees of freedom we are going to talk about. Degrees of freedom, 3 important points you have to remember. Degrees of freedom is nothing but what, the system where the body can be moved in a different position and configuration. This is what is the degrees of freedom meaning. So remember, yaad rakho ki for monoatomic gas, okay, so degrees of freedom is 3. Okay, why? Because there are 3 translational degrees. That means monatomic gas rotate along translational degrees in the 3 directions. That is why it is given as 3. So for monoatomic gas, degrees of freedom is 3. For diatomic, let us talk about now diatomic. Okay, so for diatomic, it is for diatomic molecule. Okay, a different thing is given. Suppose if it is rigid. Now, if it is rigid diatomic molecule, then degrees of freedom is 5. That means 3 rotational and 3 translational and 2 rotational. If it is non-rigid, okay, remember this particular part. If it is non-rigid, degrees of freedom is 7. That means translational 3, rotational 2, vibrational 2. Okay, and for rigid one, you can remember like this: translational 3, rotational 2. So it becomes 5. Okay, so this is all about degrees of freedom, but in detail we are going to talk about much more things here, right? Of course, the questions definitely will be asked on that. So this is all is explanation which is given. So this, as you can see here, see, these are the translational 3 and rotational 2, right? So you get 5. That is, degrees of freedom will be 5. This is all explanation is given here, which I explained you in short, right? And then comes the specific heat capacity, right, students? Now, specific heat capacity, meaning, first very important part which is added over here this particular year is the Mayer's relation. So Mayer's relation is nothing but what? Cp minus Cv is equal to R. That is, specific heat at constant pressure minus specific heat at constant volume is equal to R, right? So this is what we have to derive again over here. For Mayer's relation, what you have to remember is that the internal heat energy, okay, is given as Cv dt, because when heat energy is there, the volume changes over here, and according to this particular dq, that is the second heat energy which is supplied to increase the internal energy, is given as dE plus dW. dW is the work done which we see actually, okay, changes. That is the pressure into dV. So after substituting this particular part, you get here Cp dt, because at constant pressure if it is, then that volume will change here. So you are getting here this particular part. So after this we can substitute this particular, that is Cp dt is equal to Cv dt plus dW. So dW is nothing but what? Pdv, which we have learned just now. So after substituting this particular part, students, you are getting here Cp minus Cv dt is equal to R dt, that is Cp minus Cv is equal to R, which is nothing but Mayer's relation. Okay, so this particular formula you have to remember. This Mayer's relation, if you want to convert in terms of joules, then it is Cp minus Cv is equal to R by J. You have to divide by J. Okay, J, that is the mechanical equivalent of heat. That value you have to divide it. Okay, suppose in case here in this case, what you can remember is you can again specific heat, the same thing, formula is given in this particular part: specific heat at constant pressure, okay, and specific heat at constant volume. This is nothing but what? Principal specific heat. 11th standard already you have learned about principal and molar specific, right? So after knowing the Mayer's relation, then comes again we have to talk about different gases. What is the specific heat value? So let us talk about monoatomic gas. Monoatomic gas, we have learned that what is the degrees of freedom, students? How many? 3 degrees of freedom, right? So we are getting here energy will be 3 by 2 Na kBT, right? Because 3 degrees of freedom is there. Then Cv is nothing but what? dE by dt, that is energy upon temperature. So after this you get this particular part, that is 3 by 2 R. Why we are getting R? Because we have learned that R is equal to Na kb, that is the Avogadro's number and Boltzmann constant, right? And pressure, specific heat at constant pressure, you are going to get what? 5 by 2 R. How will you get that? Because according to Mayer's relation, you have learned this particular part. So Cp is equal to R plus Cv value you have calculated as 3 by 2 R, right? So which you get it as what? 5 by 2 R. This is how you are getting here, right? And so we got for monoatomic, we got Cp and Cv value, right? Okay, the same way you are going to calculate for other also, that is for diatomic also, right students? So gamma we got it as what? 5 by 3 because Cp upon Cv, that is the adiabatic constant, we got 5 by 3 for monoatomic gas. Now let us talk about diatomic. Diatomic, I told you one is rigid and one is non-rigid. If it is rigid, how many? I had mentioned about 5 degrees of freedom. So it is getting what? 5 by 2 Na kBT. And then because of that you are getting here Cv as 5 by 2 R. If Cv is 5 by 2 R, students, definitely then Cp will be what? 7 by 2 R, because you are going to plus add R value. Why plus R value? Because of Mayer's relation, which I had explained you just now. So gamma you are getting it as what? 7 by 5 for rigid diatomic. If it is non-rigid, okay, for non-rigid I told you degrees of freedom is what? 7. Do you remember that? So we are getting what? 7 by 2 Na kBT. And then of course Cv will be 7 by 2, Cp will be 9 by 2. So gamma you are getting it as 9 by 7. This can be in the MCQs can be asked, or sometimes they will ask you to derive the formula for diatomic molecules. What is the adiabatic constant? Okay. So this is all 2 marks question. If it is polyatomic gas, poly means what? Many. Okay. If polyatomic gas is there which is having what? More than 2 atoms, in that case its degrees of freedom will be 3 plus 3, that is translational 3, rotational 3 and vibrational will be F number. Okay. So vibration will be F number. So based on this, again you are going to get here, I told you this is what is translational 3 by 2 you are going to get, rotational 3 by 2 you are getting, and this is what is vibrational, right? So you are going to get this particular part. So you are getting here Cv is equal to 3 plus F and Cp is equal to 4 plus F, right? So here this adiabatic constant formula you are getting here for polyatomic molecules is 4 plus F upon 3 plus F, right? So this is all about degrees of freedom, students, we have learned here. The next concept which is important. So this is complete about kinetic theory of gas, right? Till degrees of freedom. Now let us talk about radiation. Radiation, few concepts you should know, right? That is absorption, reflection, transmission. What do you mean by absorption? When the heat energy is absorbed completely by the black body, then we call it as what? Absorption. Proper absorption is done. And if the heat energy is reflected, because white color reflects the heat energy, right? And black color absorbs the heat energy. And transparent bodies transmit the heat energies, right? So this is all you have learned in 11th standard, right? Now let us study something more interesting and in detail. Okay, let us talk about the first part here, that is about coefficients. Okay, so let us talk about the coefficients part. Before learning the coefficient part, students, what we have to learn, suppose this is the substance where the amount of heat is given Q, right? That amount of heat energy will be either absorbed, some of that will be absorbed, some of that will be reflected, some of that will be transmitted, right? That means total Q will be QA plus QR plus QT. That means amount of heat energy absorbed, reflected, amount of heat energy reflected and amount of heat energy transmitted. This is the meaning of it. Then dividing by Q, we got this value, right? But what is the meaning of QA upon Q? That is amount of heat energy absorbed per unit total amount of heat energy which is incident on the body is shown by small a, that is coefficient of absorption. Similarly, we can have coefficient, for this will be coefficient of reflection, this is the coefficient of transmission, right? So understood the meaning of it? here. So you are getting the formula as A plus R plus T is equal to 1. Okay, from here. So this is again 1 mark part only, but you should know coefficient of absorption is QA upon Q, coefficient of reflection is QR by Q, and coefficient of transmission is QT upon Q. Okay, so these are all definitions. So learn and go these definitions. Okay, based on that only it is given here. Simple definitions are given. Okay, then that coefficient of reflection, this is the definition given. Coefficient of transmission, इसे पढ़ के जाना है, don't forget about this. ठीक है. Let us talk about the diatherminous substance. Okay, that diatherminous substance which heat energy can pass through it. Okay, that means coefficient of transmission is not equal to 0, right? So that means neither good absorber nor good reflector. The examples you can just remember for diatherminous substance. Okay, then comes the earth-therminous substance which do not transmit heat energy. Do not transmit heat energy meaning it is a reflector, we can say, right? So here in this case, this is the example. That means it will not transmit heat energy. That is what is given here. It is a poor transmitter, good reflector, poor absorber. That is the meaning of it. If these are the conditions given. Okay, so just read it once. It is good to know about it. Then comes the perfectly black body. Perfectly black body meaning what? It is a good absorber, right? So we call it as perfectly black body if A is equal to 1 and rest everything is 0. So we can understand that this is a perfectly black body. Okay, now we have to study in detail about perfectly black body. So perfectly black body is nothing but what? Which absorbs the entire heat energy which is incident on it. Okay, so it can be ideal or perfect black body. Okay, sometimes the question will be ideal also, right? So lamp black or platinum black that absorbs nearly 97% of incident heat energy, which you have to remember this particular point. Then based on this, the scientists have made Ferri's black body. Okay, scientists have made Ferri's black body which absorbs maximum of the heat energy. So this Ferri's black body is nothing but what? As you can see, it is a double walled. Okay, as you can just look into this. This is the double walled sphere. Okay, and then it is polished with what? Silver, right? And there is a conical projection, as you can see here, this projection, conical projection, right? So, and inside it is coated with lamp black, right? Because of that, what happens when the heat energy goes inside, just conical projection, opposite to that there is an aperture, through that the heat energy goes into the body, which is called, we have named it as what? Ferri's black body. And then because of the aperture, multiple reflections takes place, and every reflection the amount of heat energy is absorbed. The question for Ferri's black body will be for 2 marks, where you have to draw the diagram and explain what explanation we have given just now. So you can read it once. You must be having notes also. You can go through that. But of course, it is an important question which you have to remember. Now the next one is emission of heat radiation. That means from the body, if it is the body is hot, a heat energy will be radiated. है ना, चाय का कप ले लोगे तो चाय में से क्या हो जाता है? Heat energy is radiated. That is all we are going to learn here. What is the amount and all that. Okay. So now in this case, what you have to study is, important one is emissive power. Okay, you have to study about emissive power. Emissive power or radiant power meaning is same. Somewhere you will find this, right? So either emissive power question will be asked or radiant power. Okay. So what is the emissive power or radiant power formula given as Q upon AT? What is Q? Q is the amount of heat energy which is transmitted to the body, which is given to the body, incident on it, and A is the area and T is the time for how long the heat energy is radiated. Okay. So heat energy radiated from that body. So dimension is given. You have to study about the dimension, and then next one comes the coefficient of emission, that is emissivity. Okay, so which is denoted by small e. So small e is nothing but what? R upon RB, where R is the radiant energy of a ordinary body and RB is the radiant energy or emissive power, okay, of a black body. Okay, so if it is perfectly black body, E is equal to 1. If it is a perfect reflector, E is equal to 0. Remember this condition. Okay, and then after this, Next part, we are going to talk about Kirchhoff's law. Okay, Kirchhoff's law, again, it is for 2 marks. The question can be asked. Okay, then in this Kirchhoff's law, what we are going to talk about is the statement you have to remember, that is for a body, the emitting and absorbing thermal radiation in thermal equilibrium is equal. Emissivity is equal to absorptivity. That is, A is equal to E. Right? So this is what is the Kirchhoff's law says. And to prove this particular Kirchhoff's law, for diagram what we can do is we can make an enclosure which is a double walled enclosure, so that outside heat cannot come inside and inside heat cannot go outside. In this there are two bodies, okay, two bodies like this. Spherical body of area is same. Out of that, let A and B body, two bodies are there. So one of the body, that is B body, is completely painted with black, so which we call it as what? Perfectly black body, and the amount of heat which is incident on the body is Q, right? And A is the ordinary body. These two are the cases here, right? So for ordinary body, if we can talk about QA will be AQ, that is coefficient of absorption will be A into Q, because ordinary body will not absorb completely all the heat, right? Whereas black body will absorb completely the amount of heat. Okay, so the body which absorbs the amount of heat, that much only it will radiate. So ordinary body will radiate what? AQ, and black body will radiate completely because it is absorbed also completely, so it will be Q. So once you divide all those things, you are going to get what? A is equal to R upon RB, but R upon RB is nothing but E. So what we are getting here? A is equal to E. This is what is nothing but Kirchhoff's law. That is, coefficient of absorption is equal to coefficient of emission, right? Then comes the spectral distribution. What is the spectral distribution meaning? That is the wavelength. Okay, different wavelength. When the black body radiates heat energy, every heat energy will have different wavelength. That is what is shown here. This is the spectral distribution of black body. Here in this case, you can see that this is the radiant power, and here this is the wavelength part which is given here. As you increase the temperature, see the temperature is increased, what is happening to the radiant power? It also increases, intensity is increases, and the wavelength also goes on increasing. So the more the intensity, more will be the wavelength. That is mentioned as what? Lambda max, that is the maximum wavelength. Okay, so you have to remember this particular part. So these 4 points you should remember, at least 4 to 5 points. Okay, you have to learn about spectral distribution. So ये 2 marks के लिए तो expected है question. So learn this part. Okay. Then after this distribution, there is a law which is used. So this law normally is asked for 1 mark, and this Wien's displacement law says that the maximum wavelength, that particular maximum radiation, is inversely proportional to the temperature, depending on the temperature. So this particular formula, emissive power of a black body is maximum, is inversely proportional to absolute temperature of the black body. Remember this particular formula. So proportional constant is B. So you are getting here lambda max into temperature, absolute temperature is equal to B, where B value also just remember this. Okay, with the units you should remember. And as every time I tell you all, see, solved examples are all very, very important questions. So don't miss that. Even though if you don't want to solve any other numericals, this much at least you should do it. Okay. Then comes the Stephen-Boltzmann law of radiation. Stephen law says that the rate of emission per unit area or power radiated per unit area of the perfectly black body, because this Stephen-Boltzmann is for perfectly black body. So it is fourth power of this. So R proportional to T raised to 4. That is 4 power of the temperature. So R is equal to, if you remove the proportional sign, it should be sigma T raised to 4. Where sigma is nothing but what? Stephens-Boltzmann constant. And that constant value also you have to remember, that is 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 8 joule meter per second, per meter square per second, per Kelvin 4. Okay. Then after this comes the amount of perfectly black body, amount of heat radiated. Amount of heat radiated, that is where we have learned, that is R is equal to what? Q upon AT. Okay. So this formula is only given. So in case if for the black body proportional to sigma raised to T, if it is ordinary body, okay, if it is ordinary body, of course there will be constant, that is coefficient of emission, that has to be there. Remember, for ordinary body small e will come, For black body, E will not come. Okay, if temperature is given here, for perfectly black body, absolute temperature is T and the lower temperature is given as T0, which is also we can call it as what, room temperature. If that is the case, then the amount of heat radiated would be sigma T raised to 4, and for the room temperature at the surrounding it is sigma T naught raised to 4. Then the loss of energy, okay, by perfectly black body will be the subtraction. So you are getting here loss of energy will be sigma T raised to 4 minus T naught raised to 4. So remember this particular formula. When are you going to use it? Whenever there is a surrounding temperature is given to you. Okay. This particular formula will be for black body. If it is an ordinary body, I said there has to be what? Small e. This is what the formula given. So depending on the numericals, whether it is for the black body or ordinary body, we can decide which formula should be used. So remember, very simple way, that the small e should be used only for ordinary body. You have to multiply by small e, that is the coefficient of emission, right? So this much formula you have to remember, students, and of course numericals based on this, as I told you, these are all important numericals. So this is all about kinetic theory of gases and radiation. Students, I hope you have understood the concept here, what is important and what you have to remember. You have made a note of it. Okay, wish you all the best and do well in the exam.